What's up, everybody? Here's another video of IGN playing Mario Kart World for 5 hours and giving their hot takes and opinion. I've been hearing a lot of things already from them saying that they rated this game bad. Now, I can understand that the game is different than what we expect, but does that really have to say that the game is bad? Like I said, I don't trust IGN whatever takes they have because they've been they've been extremely bad with everything they've been raising as a game in a year type of status 9.8, 9.5, 8.8 ratings, and the game's being a woke bad game. The game that dies. So we're gonna see what happens. Alright guys, let's see what's up. Let's see what they have to say at least.
Mario Kart World is just 2 days away, and fan expectations are rightfully high. It's the flagship launch game for Nintendo Switch 2, the first open world in the series, the follow-up to the hugely successful Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and on top of all that, it's Nintendo's...
I do not think it is widely a fan of. I don't think it's a game that people are too excited about because it is different. We're all scared and skeptical if they're not going to ruin the franchise. Nintendo has a good habit of making something that's amazing even better. But we're just skeptical. It's a launch title, so it's not that if people had other options, they would probably get that. If they had Smash Bros, they would have got Smash Bros. If they had Metro Prime, we would have got Metro Prime. It's just, you don't know.
Nintendo's first $80 game since the N64 days, which has caused no shortage of internet discourse. There's a lot riding on this one, so I'm pleased to report that after spending roughly 5 hours with unrestricted access to the final build, I'm confident Mario Kart World's thrilling racing will kick off Nintendo's 8th generation with a rocket start, even if I'm still not completely sold on its open world exploration.
That's fair. So he just said that it's gonna be good. We're just worried about the open world, and I agree with them. Open world seems a bit finicky to be messing around. Like, I just want to race.
My first hands-on preview back in April was very limited.
Like, why would I want to stake my entire race on the open world part aspect and not the actual race? Yeah, it's still a race, but at the end of the day, but if I lose because I got tripped once or twice in the traverse zone between point A to map 1 to map 2, yeah, I'll be a little bit upset because, like, wow, now I'm like so far behind because I don't know how to drive in a straight line.
Steering assist was turned
I don't have a high top speed combo. I don't know how to drift boost.
The demo was locked to 100cc, and we only got to see a couple of modes. But this time, the training wheels came off, and I played what appeared to be the version you'll be able to buy on June 5th, complete with an enormous roster of characters and...
Oh, it's very important what he just said. Apparently everybody was playing 200cc, and now we're playing 150cc. Okay? Okay?
Including everyone's favorite, Cow, and freedom to choose any mode or settings I
I'm
wanted.
in the crustacean.
So I first chose to play as Mario, I know, that's basic, and swapped between multiple karts, including the incredible
What the hell?
bike, to try out free roam, which is still the biggest question surrounding Mario Kart World.
So you can't change your kart.
First, free roam takes the spotlight off of racing and shines it directly on exploration, allowing players to drive across the wide interconnected highways. Nintendo promised hundreds of P-Switch missions in free roam, and while I won't spoil the final total, I can confirm that it only takes a few seconds of driving in any direction to spot one of these challenges. They are littered everywhere, and after worrying they'd all be too easy based on the footage Nintendo has released so far, I was pleasantly surprised that I failed a couple of the P-Switch missions on my first attempt, by either running out of time or missing a key jump, and some of them felt like the demanded mastery of Mario Kart World's new Tony Hawk-inspired parkour mechanics.
Off a wall?
One mission in the Bowser's Castle area had me driving on walls.
Okay, so the missions, but what I'm seeing is these missions are actually going to test your ability to learn the scale. And so you can actually perform that in the actual race. So that means as long as you do open world, you will know pretty much most of the tech in the game.
Walls and flipping off the side at the right moment to transform into an airplane, and the timing was genuinely tricky, but you're thankfully given the option to retry a challenge immediately after failing rather than having to drive back to the start on your own. P-Switch missions can also summon temporary objects and creatures to the terrain, like one where I had to steer my airplane around a few dinosaurs that showed up. I only tried a handful of the hundreds of challenges that await, and I'm not entirely sure the novelty will last through the time required to tackle them all, but I've enjoyed what I've seen to this point. Sadly, the rest of Free Roam hasn't gripped me yet. IGN Simon Carty wrote a feature sharing his concerns about the open world mode, and while I think I'm a little higher on it than he is so far, I agree with the general sentiment that there's just not that much to do outside of the P switches. There are collectibles scattered throughout by way of peach medallions and question block panels that can unlock one of hundreds of stickers you can slap on the side of your cart, but the ones I found felt neither special nor difficult to discover, and I miss the feeling of surprise and delight that other Nintendo games like Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Odyssey completely nailed. Even driving around itself can feel a bit too slow when you go off-road into grass or sand. This limitation makes sense for the racing in Mario Kart, where veering off the intended path without a mushroom has punishing consequences, but the feeling of diminished speed across tougher terrain made me less inclined to explore. I've still
Yeah, that's why you change your cart, you know? Put your cart to off-road. Maybe that will solve your problem there.
Barely sunk my teeth into Free Roam, so maybe there's a game-changing discovery waiting to be found, but I'm not counting on it. So far, Free Roam feels decidedly like a side dish rather than the meaty, transformative open-world experience many are hoping for.
Okay. I for one,
that's fair, because
I promise you one thing, guys. I for one will not be doing the open world. That I don't think that's gonna be my thing. I don't see a reason to do it. Unless I get a golden cart.
The main course of Mario Kart World was always going to be the racing, which felt completely right the second I started my first lap on 150cc. The turning, drifting, and boosting all feels as tight as you'd hope, and the open world design fully shines in this bold new take on the formula. Knockout Tour remains the star of the show, as driving cross-country against 23 other players while doing everything you can to stay out of the bottom 4 before the next cutoff point is exhilarating. Every shell I threw felt critically important, and whether I was in the front or the back of the pack, my heart was pounding as I desperately tried to qualify for the next segment. These 6-part races take place almost exclusively on the highways in between Mario Kart World's dedicated courses, and as I passed through fun reimaginings of returning tracks like Mario Kart 7's Shy Guy Bazaar, and brand new locations like the adventurous, Uncharted-like Great Question Block ruins, I began to recognize the impressive amount of alternate paths that I'm excited to perfect once the full game is out. A well-timed golden mushroom can catapult you from the back to first in the blink of an eye, as some of the shortcuts presented on the highways allow you to cut a huge amount of the track. I can already tell that hardcore players, myself included, are going to have a blast finding the optimal routes and pushing these courses.
Excuse me? You could possibly make that?
Are going to have a blast finding. I can already tell that hardcore players,
if he somehow reach this ledge right here, he can make a jump to that and get trick wallet and land to the clouds.
Going to have a blast.
You do miss out items on that.
Routes and pushing these courses to their limits. I've been concerned that the long stretches of very wide straightaways present in both Knockout Tour and the revamped Grand Prix could be boring compared to the twists and turns of the courses, but Nintendo has covered the interstate with cars to avoid, enemies that spew projectiles, and plenty of opportunities to grind on rails and make use of the new charge jump technique to reach optional areas. In most straightaway sections, there was always something demanding my attention, although there were a few select times I was just holding A and not doing much else, and the wide road design made things feel a bit slow compared to the close quarters racing on the dedicated courses. Still, my fears have largely been squashed, and now I'm just waiting to see how these sections will hold up over dozens of repeat.
Yeah, but can you dodge the blue shell?
Play sessions.
With the mushroom? Damn!
For all you Mario Kart...
How many players is that? 22! 22 players! Holy coin galore! How much coins you had?
And now I'm just waiting to see how these sections will hold up over dozens of repeat play sessions.
Wood coin.
For all
Oh, this guy sucks. He didn't grab a single coin.
you Mario Kart purists who just want to do 3 laps around the 30 plus courses in Mario Kart World, that classic option is one of the main draws of Versus Race and Time Trials, and I was very satisfied to find that the quality track design fans have come to expect hasn't been sacrificed in favor of the open world elements. The reimagined Peach Beach.
Oh, this is Peach, or he said a Peach Beach. Bro, the map is bigger. It's actually a lot bigger. Wait, so there's like a path that goes up here and then out, finish line, and then there's another path that goes out. Huh.
Beach took me through familiar waterfronts straight from Double Dash before exploring an entirely new village, while DK Spaceport is a fantastic homage to the arcade game that started it all, complete with final lap music any Donkey Kong fan will feel nostalgic for. If you've been worried the courses wouldn't feel as special as in past Mario Kart games, I think you can breathe a sigh of relief. Speaking of the music, Mario Kart World might just have one of the greatest soundtracks in Nintendo history. Each course has its own
I love when you get hit, you don't have a full stop to your speed. You're still propelling a little bit forward. So it's not as bad as it would have been. Like in Mario Kart 8, where you get full stop and then everybody just passes you and keeps throwing shells at you because you're not moving.
Dedicated theme as usual, but beyond that, the remixes that play during Free Roam and Knockout Tour make Mario Kart World feel like a proper celebration of Super Mario's 40th anniversary. In my short time with the game, I heard references to Super Mario Bros., Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario 3D World, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, pretty much every past Mario Kart, and a lot more. Each track I heard was beautifully remixed to fit Mario Kart World's adventurous road trip vibe, and I can't wait to hear every tune it has to offer. And I won't have to wait long, because Mario Kart World and Nintendo Switch 2 will be here in less than 48 hours. Stay tuned later this week for our review in progress, followed by our full review of Mario Kart World as we get more laps under our belts. And for more Nintendo Switch...
Wait, so he has another video?
Whoa!
Come on. They're really trying to play their ads. On the live, they're trying to play ads. On the Nintendo Switch 2 news dropped in the video. Wow. Play the video.
Let's go!
Mario Kart World.
Oh, that was 2 months ago. Alright. Yeah. Well. And so he's saying pretty much that Nintendo was cooking. And they actually said Nintendo was cooking in this one. They actually had Nintendo actually knows what to do when they're making apparently an open world simulator.
I've still barely...
That's great. A lot of games they do not know how to do open world. Whenever they make open world, they expect, all right, let's place mobs here. So you content them up every 3 minutes to every 2 minutes, every minute and a half. And that's why the world doesn't feel empty. And so with this, you now have an opportunity to, all right, let me go to Canada. All right, let's not do that. All right, let me dodge a piranha play right here. Let me jump on this car. Let me drive the grind the rails. You have all these options. Oh yeah, and dodge cars coming at you. You got all the options and abilities there. I guess Nintendo actually thought about that.
Into Free Roam, so maybe there's a game-changing...
And then, all right, I'm now listening. What am I doing? How am I dodge that? Okay, there's 2 panels, coins. None of that really matters at the end of the day. But okay, Nintendo actually knows what they're doing. I'm still not sure about the open world. At least driving for map A to map B 8 times, maybe 12 times. I don't know how the comp system is. But I'll tell you one thing. I am excited. I will be getting the console day 1. I will be playing it on stream day 1. And I will be playing online day 1. So, if you guys want to race me, Hey, I'm free. By the way, I will defeat your shortcut. I promise. I told you in stream I will defeat you. As a ex Mario Kart as a self-blockaded Mario Kart 7 Pro, I will take you down at least one time. Anyways, like your favorite, and see you in the next one, guys. Or like your favorite, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.